Yes, guys, welcome to our today's session. My name is Isa Ngoi. I'm a Cisco CCNP instructor. So as you know, guys, today we are going to continue with our lesson number 3. This is CCNA 2, lesson number 3. So if it's your first time, you can go to our CCNA 1. We do have 10 videos, 10 lessons. And if you want to get your registrations, please use my email below and my WhatsApp number in order for you to be registered, right? So without wasting our time, remember guys, you need to start from CCNA 1 maybe or CCNA 2, but you need to watch videos in order, like CCNA 2, video 1, video 2, video 3, until the end. We do have 15 videos for this particular CCNA training. And when you complete, you're going to get your certification from Cisco, right? So for your registration, you need to use my email address or my WhatsApp number, wherever you are, in order for you to be registered. So today we are going to talk about remote access. We're going to talk about how to access remote devices, your switches, your routers, in order to fix some issues, right? You can be by the restaurant, but you can still access your devices and do the configurations. Now, in order for you to do so, you need some of the computer programs that will allow you to do that particular task. So we do have computer programs or software or protocols that knows how to access remote devices. The first one that we spoke about on our CCNA 2, lesson 2 was a telnet. So telnet is not secured. So today we're going to see a more secured one. We're going to talk about secure shell, SSH, secure shell. So this protocol, this computer program will allow you to access remote devices, but this one is more protected than a telnet. So you can access your remote devices using secure shell or using a telnet, but a telnet is not protected. What does it mean? So it means that you are here and your company is here. You want to access your switch from wherever you are, right? When you access your device from wherever you are using a computer program that is not protected, that is not secured, like telnet, what does it mean? Whatever that you will be doing, somebody can sit inside or in the middle and capture whatever that you are doing. So you are your devices are using a protocol or a computer program that is not secured, what will happen? So I can have also my laptop using some of the computer programs that will allow me to capture the signal. So I can capture whatever that you are doing and understand. So for that, you need to avoid going to telnet because telnet is very old. Even though it's easy, but it's very old. So for you to access your device, you need to use secure shell that is more protected, right? So now I will share my screen and I will show you how to use secure shell. Okay. So what we're gonna do, guys, let's say you have your company, right? Okay. This is your company. Let's say you have just like 2 floors. This is floor number 1 and floor number 2. So for floor 2, floor 1, this is building A, and you have another building this other side. There's another building here that has like also some of the floors. Okay, yes, and maybe Okay, let's keep it like that. So what we're gonna do now, you have some of the offices here, and those offices got some of the computers, and you have your switch here. So you wanna connect the computers like in floor number 1, right? So you have a building in floor number 1. There are some of the offices, and those offices got computers. You buy a switch, you run your cables from those offices to the switch. This is basically what we are doing. Okay. Got problems with my cables there. What's going on? Okay. We can also go to floor number 2. Also, you got like some of the computers also there, and you have your switch here, and you run your cables, right? And those two switches are connected. Why? Because it's the same company. You need a same network. So those two switches are connected. Just I'm using like any port just to make it fast, right? So now you as a specialist, you want to configure those devices, right? You want to allow remote access to those two switches, right? So you can have maybe your laptop here, and you plug your console cable, right? So what you want to allow those two switches to be accessible from wherever you are, right? So now what we are going to be doing, we are going to use SSH, right? So from my documents here, so we are going to use SSH. SSH means secure shell, right? So this SSH is more protected, right? So the communication is encrypted, right? What does it mean by encrypted? So encrypted means that if I'm sending you a message, hello, that message will be traveling as series of numbers and characters, right? Even if somebody can capture the message, so you won't understand it. Why? Because it's encrypted. So SSH is encrypted. But Telnet is not encrypted, right? It's not encrypted. Encrypted, right? So SSH use like port number 22, and Telnet use a port number 23. So port number means, you know, when you have a computer, right? Your computer will give some computer programs specific number in order for you to identify those computer programs. So for SSH is 22, so and for Telnet is 23, right? So we're talking about a port number. So it's just a number that will allow your computer program, your Windows, your Mac OS, your operating system to identify each software or each computer program, right? So when we're talking about a port number, we're talking about a way Windows will identify your computer programs. Remember, when you have a computer, you got your Windows, your Mac OS, your computer will have so many so many computer programs, so many software, right? So many services. Now, your Windows, your Mac OS, your operating system will try to find a way to communicate with them, right? Now, they are going to assign them specific numbers, like in order for your operating system to identify them. Those specific numbers, we call them port numbers. So for secure shell is 22, and for telnet is port number 23. So when you go to your router, you go to your wireless access point, When you block port number 22, means you are blocking SSH. When you block port number 23, means you are blocking telnet. You can also like allow them, right? So just a way for you to understand that like operating system do give specific numbers to some services, some software, some computer programs, in order for it to identify them uniquely. And that number, we call it a port number. So when a Windows want to talk to SSH, they're going to use the port number 22. So when you want to talk to Telnet, when they want to collaborate, they're going to use port number 23, right? Just a way to make it easy, right? So remember about this. So it's protected, but Telnet is not protected. What does it mean is not protected? Means that messages travel like in clear text, right? This is the meaning. So clear text means when I'm sending you hi, the message will flow as hi. So somebody can have like his laptop with specific computer for capturing the signal. When you're gonna capture the signal, that signal will show like your message is hi. Remember guys, when you have, okay, let me first, so guys, when you have two devices, maybe you have two phones, right? You are trying to exchange messages, right? So if you are using unprotected protocols, right? What's gonna happen? So when you send to your friend, you go to your WhatsApp, you type hi, because you are using unprotected computer programs, your message will flow as hi. So your message will flow like in clear text, right? So because we are using waves, so messages are flowing like around us, right? So what can happen? Somebody can have his own phone with specific program for capturing the signal. So what will happen? That person can just run that computer program for capturing the signal. That person will see your message like hi, right? So the same way, a telnet is not protected or encrypted, means when you're accessing your switches, your routers using telnets, all your comments will be flowing like configure terminal, like line console. So somebody can be sitting also somewhere and that person can capture your comment and see. But if you are using secure shell means that when somebody will capture your signals, that message will be changed to something else, to a series of numbers and characters. So it's going to be difficult for that person to decrypt, to understand the meaning. So that person must have specific skills again. So that person must be an advanced hacker, like in order to break through that password or that encrypted message, right? So basically, this is the meaning. So now, what we're gonna do now here, guys, right? So I don't wanna use from here, right? So I don't wanna access the switches from here. So I like, I guess, oh, but it's fine, eh? I can use it, it's fine. Let me see these things, how to take it out. It's giving me a headache. Okay. Now we're gonna access like our switch. We're gonna do the configurations, right? Like EN enabled, you must get used to shortcuts. A conf, a configure terminal. You can exit again. Okay. So from here, we are going to check the current configurations, right? Show run, just for checking what are the running configurations on the device. So you can see the name of the switch. Okay, you can press Control Z just to come out fast, right? It's Control Z. So what you're gonna do, you need to check the versions of your SSH. You must check first this protocol, is it running on this particular device, right? Show SSH, press enter, right? So this command will allow you to check if this protocol, this computer program, SSH, is running. You can see that there is no SSH running, means we need to enable it, right? You cannot just start configuring, you must make sure that is there. But there's another command also for checking. You can also say show IP SSH. All right, so same command. So you're gonna see that is disabled, right? So SSH is not running on this particular device. Your task now will be to enable it, right? So because it's not running, what we're gonna do, we go to configure terminal, right? From here, it's better for you first to change the name of the device. So host name, I can call it switch 1, flow 1, switch 1, flow 1. Just a way for me to identify my switches. So you change first the name, right? Now, because we are talking about remote access, so what we're gonna do, line VTY, remember, it's a virtual connection, maybe 0 to 6. Remember, 0 to 6 means you are allowing 7 technicians to access this device remotely. So at the same time, you can say password, maybe Cisco 12. You press enter. Login. Now, when we are talking about login, you have to say login local. You want this device to start asking users to punch their username and password. You want this switch to become like a server that will allow people to punch their username and password locally. So login local, right? Now you need to enable SSH, right? You need to not like enable, you need to choose which protocol will be running. You will be using a telnet or you will be using SSH. So you're gonna say transport, transport input the SSH, right? So this means that you are allowing connection to this device using SSH. You can also remove the SSH. You can also say all. So all means you can go for telnet or you can go for SSH. But if you pick up SSH, means you disabled the telnet. So telnet will never work on this device. That's good. Like options. You press enter and you exit, right? You can check your password. You can check your current configurations. Let's verify. It's Control Z. Press enter. Show run. You can see your host name changed. So when you continue pressing like enter, you can see all your interfaces, like all your port. You can see line console, there is no password, but see guys here, this is your password, right? Remember, you as a technician, most of the time, you need to troubleshoot routers, switches. You need to find out what's going on, what are the current configurations. So most of the time, you will be using Shora, right? But see here, guys, this password is in clear text. This password is saved like in clear text. It's visible to anyone. So anybody can go to your switch and type Shoran and see some of the password, right? So it's a good idea to encrypt all passwords that will be running on your devices, all right? So you have always to encrypt all passwords that will be running on your devices. Why? Because you don't want like anybody just to come to type show run and view your password in clear text, right? So now we need to encrypt all those passwords. So what we're gonna do, conf, there's a command, it's called service password encryption. Remember, so if you forgot, you can type just serve, you press tab, pass, like tab, it will start showing you what's gonna come next. So service password encryption will allow you now to encrypt all your passwords. Let's exit and see what's gonna happen. Let's check again. Like enter, show run, all right? Your host name is there, like enter, you keep on pressing like enter just to go down to verify. Yes, you can see now, you see your password changed. You can see even the privilege level 7. So somebody can say show run, but you will see this one. For him, he will think like this is the correct password, but this is an encrypted one. This is not the real password, it's an encrypted version, right? It's yourself who knows like, no, the password it's Cisco 12. This is an encrypted one, right? So that person also must have a skill. That person must be an advanced hacker, like in order to take this encrypted password and to decrypt, to find out that the real password was Cisco 12, right? You can even see which transport the input you are using, which protocol is allowed on this device, right? So this is how you can encrypt like all your password, right? Okay, now we are going to start configuring so SSH, right? So what you're gonna do, those are the steps, right? You need to set up a domain name. We need a domain name, right? Remember, we have a switch. That switch will have username and password. How it's gonna keep those username and password? You need to have like a family on the switch. You need to create a family. You need to create a structure to manage those user account and password, right? So you need to create a structure like a family. How to create it? We call it a domain name. So the command is IP, a domain name, you give it a name, right? mynetwork.com or cisco.com and so on, right? So this is what we're gonna do. So among the steps, when it comes to configure secure shell or SSH, you need a domain name. You need to create a local database. You need to make your switch like a server so that your switch can keep username and password and start authenticating. So you're gonna say IP domain, right? But if you forgot, guys, use the tab, use the question mark, right? IP domain name, so I can call it tando.com, right? You press enter. So this is how to create your domain name. But remember, guys, to use the tab and question mark. But sometimes it won't gonna provide you because it's a simulator. But in real world, real devices, it will give. So now, step number 2, guys. When you create a domain name, like a family on the switch, like a database on the switch, you need to create usernames and password, right? You go to the device. We're gonna create a username. Patrick. That's the easy one. I like this one. Mbali username. Now you can put password, right? But if you said like password, it won't gonna be encrypted, but you used already the service password, so it will be like encrypted. But most of the time, if you want that password to be encrypted, you must say secret Bali 123, right? You can also put at the privilege level, so I just jump steps, right? You can create a second one. Maybe it's gonna be then like password. Oh, then and password like secret. So secret means you want it to be encrypted, but you can put their password. Like instead of secret, you can say password. And 123. So right now, when you are done with username and password, it depends with your company, your organization, right? We are here. You need to generate a key, right? By saying crypto key generate RSA, right? You need to generate a key for the protections, for protecting the communications. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna say crypto. If you forgot, guys, it's question mark. They would say, okay, so after crypto, you must put key. If you forgot again, it's question mark. Say, no, I'm looking, generate. This one is for removing. So if you wanna remove the key that you generated, generate. So we're gonna use generate. If you forgot what comes after, question mark again, they will say, no, what's missing is RSA. You're gonna put the RSA and you press the enter. Now they will ask you how big your key will be, right? It's better to take a longer or a bigger key so that it will take time for a hacker to break it. I like 1024, right? You press the enter. So guys, basically what does it mean here? This crypto key generate means what? It means, guys, when you have two devices, those two devices need to communicate, right? Okay, let me first stop sharing. So guys, we're talking about generating the key. What does it mean? You have a phone here, you have another phone here. For you to encrypt the communications, right? There must be a key that you are going to exchange between you, like a password. So when I'm typing like hello, so I will send you that message hello with the key. And you too, when you are going to receive that message, you need to decrypt your right. So you are going to get my message, but you need a password to open it, right? So that way, guys, when we are using phones, those phones are encrypted. There is a computer program that encrypts the communications. So when your message wanna leave your phone, that message will leave by having a key, like a password, right? So your message will be flowing with a key because your message will be changing to another numbers or another series of characters, right? So when the hacker will capture that message, that hacker must have that key, right? So if he doesn't have the key to open the message, so you won't gonna have access to the message. So you have access, but you won't gonna understand the meaning. So when your message will reach your mother's phone also will have what? Will have a password, and that password will allow it to open that message, right? So it happened logically, right? So you won't gonna create those keys. We need only to generate those keys. And when you are generating the key, that key must be longer enough. When it's longer enough, it will take time for a hacker to break it. So that crypto key generate means we are generating a key that we'll be using when we are exchanging messages, right? Those keys will protect like our communications. This is the meaning, right? Okay. Yes, we are done generating the key. Now we need an IP address. Remember, this is a switch. For you to access it from wherever you are from distance, that switch must have an IP address. Without an IP address, how are you going to access it? We need to give it an IP address. But because it's a switch, we're going to give it to a virtual interface. Int VLAN 1, press enter. IP address 192.168.1.1. You put your subnet mask 0, and you must say no shutdown, means you activate it. And you exit, you can exit again, right? Like enter. So what we're gonna do, let's check if SSH is running. Show like SSH. Still okay, let's verify again. Show IP SSH. Yeah, so you can see here it's running. All right, and the version, it's version 1.99, so it's version 2. Version 2 is more protected than version 1. So if you're using the SSH version 1, you need to move to SSH version 2 because it's more protected, right? So you can see here it's what? Enabled, right? Now we're gonna try to access the device from here, from the switch, or maybe from the phone, but I like first to try it from here. The SSH, this is, you must say the SSH space #L or dash or -L. You put your username. My username was Mbali. And the IP address of the device, and press enter. Okay, you can see. So they're asking my password. It's Mbali. I think it was 123. Yeah? Let me try. Oh, Mbali 12. What was my password again? Okay, it was Mbali 123. Okay. Mbali 123. Okay, so I'm in the device. So when you are here, so if you give an IP address, like maybe here, you are here by the restaurant, you guys, you are here, you wanna access this particular switch, right? Or maybe, let's say, you are here, right? Maybe here it's, you are outside the building, right? You are just admin outside, but you wanna access this particular switch. What you need only to have your IP, the IP with the same range, and you are done. You go there. This one is giving me a headache. I don't know how to. This screen for me, it's a problem. I don't know how am I gonna come out from this one. Okay, it's closed now. So desktop, like IP 192.168.1, maybe .3, right? So what you're gonna do, you go to command prompt, right? You are here, you're gonna type SSH -L followed by your username, Mbali, followed by the IP address of the device, 192.168.1.1. You press enter. You see, they will ask you a password. You don't have your console cable. You are outside the building. Maybe you're connected using wireless, right? What was the password? Mbali 123. And you are in, and you can continue configuring the device, right? No password set because there is no password. That's why we don't have access here. So what you need to enable like a secret password when you are here. I got issue with my screen. Like today, I don't know how to come out from this thing. It's giving me a real headache. Okay. Which one is this one? Okay. No password set. I want to exit first. Okay. Conf T enable secret 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm giving a password to the enable. What does it mean? So if you say the enable secret like password, means that when you're gonna type the enable comment, they will ask you to punch this password, and you press click enter, right? So means you are here by your restaurant. Which comment does it? Oh, it's very slow. I'm just waiting. Enable. Okay, so you see now it's working. Why? Because there is the enable password. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you are in the device, right? Now, your company is growing, right? Your company is growing. Now, there is a router here. So, on this particular building. Now, there is a connectivity between your switch to this particular router. Remember the interface, like gigabits, like Ethernet 0/0/0, right? So we need to allow now these technicians to access this router from another building, right? Or from another country. This one can be another country, right? How these technicians will be accessing this one? Remember, steps are easy. You need a password here. No, you need to activate like this port. You need like to give it an IP address. You need to change the router's password on the router's name. You need a domain name. You need to generate a key. You need yeah. So when you generate your key, you are done, right? So what you wanna do, you go to the router. We're gonna do the same things. CLI. So for me, I'm gonna say no. Check enable. Let's first check. So if so SSH is running. So SSH, show SSH. Check it's not running, or maybe you can also use this one. Show IP SSH. Yeah, it's not running. Conf T, we're gonna change first the host name. So I'm gonna use more the tab command, like in order for you to understand, so that sometimes you are not a robot to memorize like everything, but you must have a way to remember your command, right? So tab, host name, router 1, Durban. Yes. So you give it a router name. Now we're gonna give it an IP address, like interface, just shortcut 0/0/0, where we plugged that cable. Press enter. The IP address 192.168.1.100, right? We give it an IP address from the same range as the switch, right? followed by the subnet mask .0. You press enter, and you must bring it up. No shutdown, you bring it up, right? So, and when you bring it up, you're gonna see the status will change, all right? The status will change to green. Now you exit, right? Now we need like a password from the line VTY. Line VTY maybe 0 to 3. A password maybe Cisco. Login. Remember, you have to say login local. Why login local? Because we want the router to become like a server. Your router must have like a database, like a family. Your router must be like a family, like in order to start receiving username and password, like in order to manage user account, right? So we are asking at the router to start managing requests locally. This is at the meaning. Login local. So, and from here, we need to tell the router which computer program to use when accessing the device remotely, which protocol, which software to use when accessing it remotely, like telnet or secure shell. So you're gonna say transport. When you forgot question mark, they're gonna say, okay, you are looking for transport. For completing the missing part, you can press tab, right? So from here, sometimes you forgot again, it's question mark. They're gonna say, okay, you can use the input or the output. So, and when you use the input, it means you define which protocol to use when connecting to the terminal server, when connecting to the router. This is the terminal server. So transport, input, but you can just type in, you press tab. Sometimes you must be fast. You just press like 2 letters and you press like tab, like in order to complete the missing part. Now, suppose like from here, you forgot again, it's question mark. You're gonna say, okay, after transport, like input, you can use all. All means you are allowing all the protocols, like telnet and secure shell to run. You can say none, you block all of them. Nothing will work. You can go for secure shell or telnet, but we want secure shell. You press like enter and you exit, right? Now remember, we are protecting the communications. We are encrypting the communications. Means we need to generate password. We need to generate keys. Those keys will allow us to encrypt our communications, right? Now, how to generate it? It's crypto. We must start with crypto. CR. When you forgot, you press tab. It will complete for you. You can just remember something. And from here, you can say, okay, what comes like after crypto? It's question mark. They will say, okay, you can use like dynamic map, like IPsec. You say, no, I'm looking for the key. So means it's key. When you forgot again, it's question mark. It generates, but if you wanna remove, it's zero is. So generate. It's question mark again. It's gonna say it's the RSA that is missing, right? Don't worry about what does it mean by RSA. CCNA 3, you're gonna be more fit. You press, please define a domain name. Oh, we forgot about the domain name. There is no domain name. Okay. IP domain name lab.com. Now we can go to our, yes, now they're gonna ask us how long will be your key? How big your key will be? Bigger your key, more harder your key will be. So it will take time for the hacker to break it. Your hacker must have skills enough, like in order to de-encrypt the communication. So I like the 1024, but it's gonna take time. So more the key it's big, more times to generate. So it takes time to generate those keys because it's bigger. This is one of the drawbacks. All right. Now we have our domain name. We generate the key. We assign a password. Everything is fine. So what we're gonna do now? We need to test. Let's exit first. Now we're gonna try to test like SSH -L. Oh, the username, there is no username yet created. Okay, let's create some username. Username, rectangle. Password, you can put the password, but it's better to say a secret Tando12. You press enter, you exit. We can check the SSH -L, the Tando, and the password 168.1.100. You can see they will ask us like a password is a Tando12, and we are in the device, right? Remember, so if the device doesn't allow you to carry on, you must go, you type that command, enable secret, you give it a password there. Yes, now let's go here. Now you are here again. You are outside, you want to access this router from wherever you are, by the restaurant, you are here. Now, because we are talking about router, you need to have the IP address of the router. You need a default gateway, right? So when you're dealing with router, you need a default gateway. So you go first to your device. You need a default gateway. So let's say 192.168.1.800, right? But we're in the same network. Sometimes you can need it or not. Okay, now we're gonna try now to access the router and do our configurations. At first, exit here. I don't know. Okay. SSH -L Tando 192.168.1.100. You can see they will ask you a password. What is the password? Tando12. Press enter, right? But like from here, you wanna proceed. Click enable, right? When they refuse, they say there is no password set, means what? You go to the router, right? You exit, let's exit because we were trying the connectivity. The conft, you're gonna say enable secret, maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it's fine. So when you come again here, you say enable, they will ask you the password for accessing the privilege command. It means you're protecting the privilege command. Nobody can go to the privilege command. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can access the device, maybe you know the password, but for accessing again the privilege, you need like another, the enable password. Okay. So now your company is growing. There's another router that you can use and so on. But because I don't want to keep the video too long, so I will stop like here, right? So guys, we spoke about how to access devices from wherever you are, right? You need a computer program in order for you to access your devices from wherever you are, but your devices must have like an IP address. If you are dealing with switches, you need to assign those IPs to virtual interfaces. So means the interface space VLAN space 1. You give it an IP address, right? Now, your device first require an IP address, right? Your device needs a domain name. You must make it a local server. You need to change the the host name. You need to generate a key, right? You need to generate the keys by using the crypto key, right? You need to create user account. And for you to access the device, it's SSH space -L space username space the IP address of the device. So this is the end of this video, guys. You need to practice, and remember, we spoke about service password encryption. This is the command for encrypting all password on your devices, because you don't want somebody to use the show run, show start to view your password. You can use the service password encryptions, like in order for you to encrypt all your passwords like on your devices. Remember, service password encryption for encrypting all your password on your devices. So, and one more thing, we spoke about how to protect the access to the privilege mode. Remember, most of the time they were refusing us to access the privilege mode. We need to like to put a password, like in order to stop somebody to carry on to move to the privilege mode by saying enable space secret space you punch your password, right? You can have the your line console password, but you don't have the privilege password. So the enable password, you don't have it. So there is no way you can have access to the switch, but you won't gonna carry on because they will ask you the privilege password. Thank you very much. Remember, so if you wanna register, use my email address and my password, right? So I will send an exercise again. So if you are using our WhatsApp group, you're gonna receive the exercises that you need to practice. Yes, thank you very much.